Oh, wow. We're back with Big Brother. What? What do you mean? It's finally a good season? What do you mean?
No live feeds, but still good.
You know, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. But welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay. Gay. And it's late. I've had too much caffeine this evening, so we're just drinking water. Hydration's important. It's just water today.
Hydration is very important. Hydration is very important. Clear skin and all. And hello, I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up because, that's what I love. And yeah, hydration is important. Water. Got a fresh bottle of water, so I'm going to be drinking it through all these episodes we're going to talk about. And yeah.
But if you were going to drink it out of something else, Lana,
I would always drink it out of this cup mug right here that I keep handy with me everywhere I go, because
good.
You always need your own mug and your own tea mug to stir and drink that tea. Sure. But I've had it just sitting around, so this tea needs to this cup needs to be clean before I drink out of this tea.
Yes.
So as of right now, she's just looking pretty as always.
Great. Love
but
it.
If you want this mug and anything else that has the cup that's related to the cup podcast, you know what to do. Go to my merch link, which is down scrolling at the bottom, lanagcreations.etsy.com, and you can get all of your cup merchandise and other things as well, because I like to put up other things, other accessories and things. So hit me up and I'll hook you up. Period.
And we are back.
Yeah.
With Big Brother Canada. And I'm going to be honest, the game has gotten good.
I feel like ever since we lost the dead weight,
honestly,
the game has gotten better. Because certain people feel, even though they feel a little invincible, are realizing how not invincible they are. And people who was thus laying low are stepping up their games. So I'm loving this. Not loving how everything turned out, but I'm still loving this.
Yeah.
Period.
I think for me it's really interesting because I do love a Big Brother season where it's two sides of the house going at it. Mm-hmm. And this is turning into that. And I think even more so as we move into week 6, we're definitely seeing that sort of dynamic building even more, which I love. I love a two sides of the house Big Brother situation.
I love the power shift going back and forth, the drama of it all.
I love when my faves are succeeding, and I love when my faves are not succeeding, and the other side gets a little bit, which is exactly kind of what happened this week.
Mm-hmm.
Not my fave winning, but we'll talk about that. So, so we're going to talk about week 5, the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday episodes. What is this? The 5th actual eviction of the season?
Mm-hmm.
No, the 4th. The 4th vote of the season.
Vote, yes.
The second juror has been sent to jury.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, overall, Lana, I know we kind of just talked about it, but overall thoughts on the week?
It was an interesting week. I thought, sure, not everything that I wanted to happen happened, but it was good TV. It was very much like seeing people come into their own, seeing people making decisions that was good just basically solely for them and not for for everybody else. We've seen when things don't go the way people want it to go, how they react. We've seen people stepping up, doing things, this like really playing this game and snooping out things and picking up clues and seeing how I love this. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
happy with, even though, like I said, I'm not very excited about the outcome of the week because it was just, but that was so emotional. This week has been
Ugh.
very emotional,
All of
but
the emotions.
all of the
We had
emotions were in this week. We had fights and
we had
ups and
crying, we had ups, downs,
sobbing,
we
really.
had
Oh,
bathroom celebrations, we had sobbing, we had anger, we had a
ugh,
breakup.
we had,
Like this is kind of like the week that we all hope to have at a Big Brother game.
yeah.
Like this is I'm finally getting, because I'm gonna be honest, y'all. We said it from the beginning. We were like, okay, we're gonna stick through the season.
Mm-hmm.
There's no live feeds, but our bestie Daniel's on this season, so we're gonna stay in the season until he's there. I'm pretty confident in saying I'm gonna see this season through the whole
Yeah,
thing.
probably will. Definitely,
Um, I think
regardless of what.
definitely at this point, I think
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
invested.
nervous. I was nervous going into the season, but I had a good feeling that this cast was going to bring what we needed, especially coming off of a really, really good season in BBCAN 10.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to talk about this week for all the good and the bad. But we start.
Mm-hmm.
We have lost DJ Dan. He became the first member of the jury last week, and the HOH comp was in progress. I don't remember what it was called, but it was the endurance comp holding on to a little buoy for as long as you could. It's one of those like tilted buoy
Mm-hmm.
situations. And the last person to hang on won HOH. So first person off, to nobody's surprise, and I love him to death, Daniel.
This comp ain't built for people that look
Not,
that's like
no,
us. No.
nope, not at
No.
all. We
This,
we are not the kind of people that do well in this comp. It's
yep.
just no.
I would look.
Um,
I would have big D'd it like from the beginning. I would have been off before the
yeah,
commercial was even up because, like,
right,
baby,
right.
I know my weaknesses, and that would have been it. The minute
Uh-huh,
they said endurance, I'm like, ooh, I hope I'm not in trouble because I am not staying on this
uh-huh.
thing long.
That part. So that Kuzi is actually the second person to drop, but she drops because there was a temptation from Big Brother that the next person to drop would get 5,000 Wendy's points. So Kuzi dropped. I think that probably was for the best. Honestly, I didn't think
Mhm.
she needed to win
She did
this
not.
HOH. And so she dropped. She gets 5,000 Wendy's points. We still don't know what these Wendy's points mean. Um,
I don't know. Maybe like I don't know.
I hope it means something real in the
Yeah,
game. I hope it's
yeah.
not just like you get 3 Baconators. Like I really hope it's not something like that, and it's not something stupid.
Maybe it goes into money. Maybe it turns into money at some point.
You
Like
know that I would love that, honestly.
I would be
If there's
okay with,
like Final Five veto or something where like you win however many points you have, like in cash or something.
or maybe it's something like you can cash in your Wendy's points for an advantage or for.
Now, if it's kind of like Fire Token-esque from
Mhm,
Survivor,
mhm,
that I'd be cool with that, honestly. Or like a
mhm.
certain number, if you get like 20,000 Wendy's points, you unlock a diamond veto or something.
Right, something like
Or
that.
ooh,
Ooh.
because remember at the start of the season we had the library twist. We know something's gonna happen with the library at
Mhm.
some point in the season. I wonder if that's gonna be like first person to hit, I don't know, like 20,000 Wendy's points is the person that gets like the library or whatever. Though I
Well,
think it might come into play this coming week, which we'll talk about with the Fatal Feast. But
maybe. Oh,
we'll talk about that at the end because I'm
okay.
excited to see what happens. But yeah, so Kuzi drops. Anika is the next to drop. And then in kind of a little succession, we have Jonathan drops, Santina drops, Renee drops, and Shania drops. And so the final three come down to Claudia, Ty, and Hope. And they're doing it for a while. Claudia stays in for like I think 4 hours, and it comes down to Ty and Hope.
They get
And
to 5 hours.
5 hours and 8 minutes, and we get Ty as our HOH.
Which only because they literally they told them it was 5 hours. They had to just go hold on with
Uh-huh.
one arm from that point. So it was
Yeah.
like,
And Hope
wow,
literally just lost his grip.
lost his like he was. Ugh.
He
Ty
was
was not
good. He
going
was
anywhere.
solid. Yeah.
Ty was not going anywhere. He was so solid. Even when
Yeah.
they were on the one arm, he
Yeah.
had it where he was gripping it and holding it like if this is the buoy, his hand was like here, and he had it, and he was going, and he had it. He wasn't going nowhere.
I have to give him props where props are due. Like he did really well in this comp. He won. So yeah. So we get a couple different gates this week, Lana. We have garlic toast gates, and we get waffle gate. All of this all from Santina and Anika, because obviously, as we know, DJ Dan was doing a lot of the cooking, and before that, Vanessa was doing a lot of the cooking. Obviously, neither one of them are in the house anymore, so Anika steps in and has decided to do some of the cooking. And Santina was not only disappointed with the garlic toast that she got after the comp? It was after the HOH comp, and then was also upset because she got the shittiest waffle the next morning. Her and Anika start going at it, and I honestly love seeing this side of Anika because she had promised since the start of the season. She's like, I don't get along with people and I'm a bitch. And here we go. Like, I was like, I'm happy to see that you are coming through with what you said you were going to do.
It was so interesting. Like, I don't know what it, like, Santina, baby girl. Like, I get it. So the toast wasn't as toasted as you wanted it to be. And the waffle flavorless, as you said it was. I'm like, girl, put some butter and some syrup on there and call it a day. My God.
So Lana, do you put flavoring in your waffle?
You could put like some vanilla.
Absolutely.
Or even some sugar in your batter.
I put cinnamon.
Or cinnamon, yeah.
I do a cinnamon sugar waffle. It's fantastic.
You put it in your batter so it can have some kind of flavor, not just the flour and, or the batter. Yeah. Flour and water or whatever. You have to put something in your batter to make it have some. Because some people don't like butter or syrup. So they just eat the waffle like a piece of bread. I could never.
No.
I need butter and syrup on my waffle.
Are you a classic syrup kind of person, or are you a flavored syrup kind of person? What's your gig?
Maple.
Sure. Maple, okay. Yeah.
Syrup. Just give me unless.
I was gonna say.
Like if you put strawberries on my waffles and whipped cream, give me some strawberry syrup, and I'm like,
I was gonna say my guilty pleasure is IHOP blueberry syrup.
See, I'm an IHOP. If I go to IHOP, give me my hot maple syrup. Like heat up
my syrup. No, of course, yeah.
And put that butter, so my butter is sinking in my pancakes, and then I put that hot on. Yes.
So what I'm hearing is when we finally meet up, we're going to IHOP. Is what I'm hearing.
I would love to go to IHOP. Look, but don't come here if we go meet up, because the IHOPs here have closed everywhere. Like we don't.
Oh really? Oh no! I can't. I can't think of any around me now that I think about it.
The closest one to me is like in the next county over, and I'm like,
Jesus! Wow. Okay.
I'm not trying to go out to the next county, but anyway, that's another story for another time. Look, when we're not live, but Anika, I mean, I understand you might not like somebody's food, but you don't have to say you don't like it. You just don't eat it. Just be like, thanks for breakfast. I'll just eat some bacon. Just grab the bacon.
Right? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Everyone, this week was so strange because everyone in the house, I was like, there were moments where like, oh, I really like you. And then there were moments where like, I can't stand you. Every single person. And I'm just like,
I was like, what is happening? And what was so funny to me, the funniest thing after the Wafflegate argument, Santina goes upstairs to the bathroom and I think it's so horrible. She's such a bitch. Oh, she's so fun. And QZ's like, what's the matter? What's happening? Oh, nothing. And we just got into it. And when Santina goes into the bathroom, QZ said, why do I always miss the
I'm
fights?
missing all the fights.
Why do I always miss the fights? I'm like, QZ.
Yeah.
Mother.
I
Love her.
truly.
Like, because
Truly.
Kuzi is me, because I'd be like, why do I always miss the fight?
What? Can someone just
Can I be in
page,
the room with a fight
page
right
me,
now?
beat me? Because I want to see the fight next time.
Right? Beat me. I want to see it. Let me. But
Like,
yeah,
where's Daniel to tell me where the fight is? Like,
fight,
hello.
fight happening
But
next week.
yeah.
But yeah, funny. That was funny to me.
Yeah.
But
so the rest of the Tuesday episode is Ty talking about his nominations, and it becomes very clear he's targeting Santina.
oh, most definitely.
To nobody's surprise, really.
No surprise at all.
He needs someone else to go up. So guess who decides to go on the block again, Lana?
This man is playing this part so much, it's starting to become annoying. It's like,
Yeah.
bruh, seriously. Like, Hope, come on, man. You gonna go volunteer yourself again to go on the block? For why? Because every time you put yourself in that situation, you're putting your life in this game on the line. And if you don't want to go home, don't put yourself in situations where you are on the block because you feel like you can win any comp. You can't. You won one comp. One. You ain't been winning this off the rip, back to back, just winning because you winning. You won one comp.
And we'll talk about it. Ultimately, that one comp win determines a whole lot this week. But yeah, so Hope volunteers to go on the block. Cool. Santina goes to talk to Ty, and he's like, I just can't put up with bullshit anymore. I'm like, literally go fuck yourself. I'm so over this man. Fundamentally, just like, fuck this man. And I don't want to. I will not. Just fuck this man. I cannot just... He angers me.
This man, he is everything wrong with men.
Literally.
He is literally everything wrong with men.
Should have just walked with Zach. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, if he would have just walked with Zach, I would have been like, but this man is all bark and no bite. I've been saying it since he talks a lot, but his threats are idle. And we'll talk about that more later on this week. But he just is everything wrong with the man. How he speaks to people, he's condescending, he's judgmental, he's horrible. He has no tact, and he feels like he's so above it all, above everything, and he knows all, and people just have to bow down to him. Like, they didn't all come into this game expecting to play for themselves. No, they all came in with, did they sign a contract that we go all come in and play for Ty? No. And he expects everybody to play for him. He do stupid stuff and make stupid moves and then talk to people any kind of way and then think it's gonna all be good. Like, bruh, you are the worst kind of person in this game. He is the worst. And if he didn't win HOH this week, he would have been on the block again.
Yep.
Anybody would have put him up except Claudia. Everybody would have put him up.
And Claudia might even have put him up, if I'm being honest. I don't...
This past week, no, she wouldn't have. No, she wouldn't
At
have.
that moment, no, she wouldn't have. By the end of the week, yeah.
Yeah, I was say at this point, if she would have won this HOH, she wouldn't have put him up. She would have been still celebrating and sleeping in this room and together, whatever.
So,
but
yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
So it becomes very clear before noms happen that the noms are going to be Hope and Santina.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the Bel Air direct eviction insurance, which I'm gagged we are still doing I think it's just because I feel like it's further into the game because it is further into the game,
Yeah.
but it's only week 5.
And I think it's only, we wouldn't be having it this far if the people would have stayed. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
If 3 people had not walked from the game, this would be the last week before jury.
Which is what I'm sure they probably would have stopped it before jury.
Totally.
Like they wouldn't still be saving people.
Yeah.
Going into it well into jury.
Mm-hmm. So we find out that Santina won the safety. And at the moment that I found out Santina got safety, I was thrilled. I was like, good for you, gal. You get a week off. You can just do whatever you need to further your game. You're in no danger. You're good. Seeing what ended up happening, Santina could have gone. But, you know, it happened. So, and everyone's gooped.
When I tell you the girly pops were mad, Ty was mad, Anika was mad. She was like, why Santina? Out of everybody they could have picked from, why Santina? Like, gross. How I was kind of like, anything to screw up Ty's plans, I'm here for it. But like you said, I agree. If the end of the week, as we see what happens, I'm kind of like, Santina could have won.
Yeah. I am liking Santina more and more, though. I think she's in a very interesting position where simultaneously everyone and no one is targeting her.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. She's kind of an enigma in the game. But so without that person to target, Ty decides that the next person he's going to target out of everyone left in the house is Renee.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense for Ty to pick Renee because Renee has verbally said she would go after him. She verbally has said she would go after him, and she's told people she would go after him. She's, you know, she has not been afraid to say she's going after the guys. She wants the girls to make it to the end. And so it makes sense for Ty to want to cut Renee out because not only does it get rid of somebody who's verbally saying that they will go after him, but it also gets the person who she's close with, which is Claudia, to be absolutely closer to him because she's gone and doesn't have, you know, somebody trying to whisper in her ear, we need to get rid of Ty, when because he knew he gonna still be a jerk to Claudia. He knew he gonna still be a jerk to Claudia, so she can be easily pulled away from him if he constantly being a complete idiot. But I do think it was a smart move for Ty to go for Renee. I feel like another girl would have been a better choice because he could have always came back to get
Shania.
If you put Shania up and she wins herself down, you put Renee up. You put Renee up. But you know,
but Ty's not good at this game. Remember, Lana, Ty is not good at this game.
His strategic.
I don't think he has a strategic mind.
I don't know. He does not think long term. He thinks right now. The same thing we talked about with Franny not thinking long term. Ty is not thinking long term in this game. He's looking at the right now and who I'm upset with right now, and he's making things much more difficult than he has to.
Go check out our Survivor coverage if you want to do that. Also,
you should want to do that, but anyway.
Anyway, so Hope and Renee go on the block. We move into Wednesday's episode, and Claudia and Ty are having a convo in the HOH room to start the episode, and they're talking about how Kuzi is jealous of Claudia or some bullshit reasoning like that. And Kuzi's fully just in the bathroom. probably heard them. We don't get confirmation from Kuzi in the DR or anything that she heard them, but like, she heard them.
She probably heard them. But Claudia was like, Renee's just wondering why you're doing Kuzi's moves and Kuzi's this and Kuzi's everything. Everybody's protecting Kuzi. Why are you playing Kuzi's game? And like Claudia this week annoyed the hell out of me. And I don't say that often, but she annoyed me to the point of, girl, why are you so scared of Kuzi and not doing nothing about it? Like, you want everybody else to make moves because you're scared of Kuzi. Woman up and say you don't want to work with Kuzi.
Because she wants to coast. That's what it is. She wants to coast. She's not even floating well.
No, she's coasting. And
you know who I would call a good floater at this point in the game, though? Santina. I think Santina is doing a pretty good job of floating. And
Anika is doing a really good job of floating.
I think I would agree. Anika is kind of more firmly planted into that side of the house. So I would maybe say, of anybody in the crown, maybe Hope is the person I would say maybe is playing a bit more of a floater game, just because he is actively like still good with Ty and he's still good with a lot of the girly pops.
He's definitely a good floater. Yeah, agreed.
He's not actively trying to, because again, he doesn't really know this game very well, but he is doing I will say his game is good looking at it objectively. But yeah,
I feel his game, what he was trying to do and making people believe that I can go, I can stay, that was good up until like 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, you do that for 2 weeks, and then be like, you know what? I snapped out of it. I'm back in the game. I'm in game mode. Let's go. That way people won't take it, because like anytime he gets on the block, folks will go say, well, Hope don't want us to be here. No way. We can send him out the door. Which people said, and that's why he got 3 votes. They were like, he don't even want to be here. So he got votes. I'm sorry, I was just throwing stuff. But
oh no, you're fine.
Yeah. He but the fact that he is still trying to lull Ty into that trusting relation, like I got you, bro. You can trust me. I'm good with you. Knowing full well he is not. And the second he can get a chance to throw Ty out, he's going to do it. I have no doubt in my mind that Hope, if he wins the HOH, would pull the trigger on Ty in a second. I have no doubt.
I would hope.
I think he would. I think he would, because he really felt betrayed by Ty. And you forgive, but you don't forget. And I think that's what Hope is. Like, he's like, I forgive you, bro, but I ain't gonna forget. And
now especially
he will not forget. And he might not forgive.
You just never know with Hope. Honestly, that's what I've come to learn, is you just don't know. But so we go straight into veto picks, and we have obviously Hope and Renee playing. Claudia gets picked, and then Santina gets picked. Was that correct? Yeah, Santina.
That is correct.
And then Ty gets house guest choice and picks Shania, who is best friends with Renee, which means there is about a 60% chance of Renee coming off the block.
I am trying to center myself.
I'm just laughing through the whole thing.
Because I said I'm not going to rant this episode. So I'm centering myself. And I will just say, this man is as dumb as a box of rocks.
I couldn't agree with you more.
His reasoning behind picking Shania was because he said, and I quote, "I don't want to show all of my cards. And so I'm going to pick someone who they wouldn't expect me to pick to show that I'm working with them." Sir, your target is Renee.
Yeah.
That's
Allegedly.
That's what you say.
Yeah.
You pick her bestie when her other bestie has already been picked, because you can't look past picking Claudia. Because if you had have to go choice, Claudia wasn't picked.
Claudia would
You
have
would
been
have
picked,
picked Claudia. You would have picked Claudia because you can't. That's you're blind. That's all you see is Claudia. So you couldn't even look past Claudia's already picked. So who do I pick? Not somebody who don't pick Kuzi, sure, because they already think you working hard with Kuzi. Great. How about Anika?
I was gonna say Daniel feels like the perfect pick because Daniel used a veto on Ty. So if you're going off of what the house knows the knowledge to be, Daniel used a veto on me. I'm gonna return the favor in this moment and give him a shot to play in the veto. Or honestly, I feel like Anika would have been the perfect choice. Or even Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan! Jonathan was the perfect choice. He's in the middle. Everybody likes him. He can say, I will use it or I won't use it, and nobody will be mad at Jonathan. Nobody. He would have took Hope off, Hope safe. Guess who going up? Shania. This man is as dumb as a box of rocks. Mm-hmm. Just dumb. I'm not gonna rant. That's it. Let's move on because the rant is bubbling up in my spirit, and I don't want to do
it. So we go straight to the veto. We're not mincing any time today. We're going straight to the veto, and it is, guess what, Lana? A sponsored veto. Yay!
Not mad at him.
No, and this is the Bel Air Direct sponsored veto with $5,000. So the premise is a huge storm has destroyed your yard, and you have to clean it up. Mm-hmm. So what's interesting is, so it's 5 people. There's 4 rounds, and every round is different. Mm-hmm. But then someone had to play twice, or 2 people had to play twice. Or no, one person, Hope had to play twice.
Hope had to play twice.
I don't get it. Anyway.
I don't get it either, but...
So round 1 is Hope and Santina. They have to put together a fence puzzle and then clear and remove debris. This one was pretty close, but Hope did win. Mm-hmm. Round 2, we have Renee and Shania, the girly pops. You have to pick up trees that are puzzles and put them into the right slots. Take 4 tires off of a fake car and then roll them into the tire rack and then put new tires on. Shania beasted. Mm-hmm. Renee, God love her. No. So then Hope has to compete again for some reason. And he picks Claudia. And so in this one, they have to collect puzzle pieces from around their little yard, create like a path puzzle, and then put a bunch of pieces into a column puzzle situation. And Claudia advances out of that. So we end up with a final round of Claudia and Shania, and it's a good old Survivor-inspired table maze.
At this point, Ty is really regretting his whole decision.
Which he should be.
As he should be. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
But they have to put 4 balls on the
Yep.
whole puzzle. And the winner of that turned out to be Shania. So
Shania wins Power Veto. She was very excited. She's a fan of the show, so I'm excited that as a fan of the show, she got to win a comp. I'm very happy for her. Her first comp win. Love that. Congrats, Shania.
Congrats.
We all know where this is going. She says it almost immediately. I'm using it on Renee.
Yep.
And everyone, their mother, their second cousin, and their cousin's dog are trying to convince Shania not to use the veto on her best friend in the game.
Yeah. This is what bothers me. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the approaches, how people came to Shania.
Oh, sure.
Because she's trying to play this game for her.
Yep.
I respect that. Because that's what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And first Claudia goes to Ty. And it's like, she's probably going to use it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need to talk to her, try to get her not to, because if she does, it's going to put me in a position where I have to make a decision I don't want to make. And if I got to make this decision, it's not going to be good. So, and I mean, you might be caught in the crossfire. And she was like, "Oh, you going to put me up?" And he was like, I mean, if I got to put you up, I got to put you up. And she was like, fine. I mean, do what you got to do, but this is a game. I'm not going to be like, if that's the best for your game, putting me up is going to be the best move for your game, then you got to do what you got to do. And he like, well, you need to tell her not to use it so I won't even have to do that. And she's like, I can't tell people what to do with their moves. You say you respect people when they move. I'm going to support her, whatever she decides, but it is what it is. And at this point, I was like, okay, Claudia, I see you, which I respect that too, because it is a game. It is I can't get mad at somebody for making they move. And if she wants to make this move for her, then all I can do is respect it. But then in turn, you have to do whatever you need to do to make your move. If your move is me, so be it. So then Ty goes and talks to Renee talks to Ty, and he's like, I mean, I don't think she should use it. And Renee is like, but you said that you put me up because and you gave me the opportunity to come down, and that way we can move forward in the game. But now that I'm able to come down, you don't want to have no ties. He was like, I'm going to cut all ties with y'all. I can't work with you. I'm like, what? He was making no sense, because how do you give people the opportunity to come down and save themselves and be like, and then if you come down, then we can, we got a path to move forward. But then when they get to that path and be able to come down, now there's no path forward. I want to cut ties with you, and you go become what? So basically, you wanted me to go. If I was there, like, so you put me up so I can go. And he just this thing that he does is, I mean, what do you want? I mean, I didn't say that. I'm just saying. No, you're not saying anything. You're being an idiot.
You're literally saying nothing.
You're saying nothing. You're being an idiot, and it's making no sense. And then he tries to tell Shania the same thing. Like, if you take your friend down, you're not playing the game for your game. You're just playing with your friend and your feelings. And I wouldn't be able to trust you and work. I was like,
So when have you actively wanted and tried and showed any sort of loyalty to Shania?
The only time he was even remotely trying and Shania and Claudia and him, and that was the only time he
Yeah.
actively possibly was considering working with Shania. And that was because of Dan and
Yeah.
her relationship with Dan. And
Yeah.
then the closest relationship between Claudia and Ty. It had
Uh-huh.
nothing to do with Shania.
No.
So I'm like, what does she owe you anything? I did see his point about Renee because he
Yeah.
did try to make active moves to work with Renee and do an olive branch. And she was kind of like, I'm going after the boys. So I get it. I
I do.
understand why he wanted her to go and why he wanted to stay, but you can't make that decision when you didn't win the veto and trying to convince the person who's closest to her to
Yeah.
not use the veto. That would
Yeah.
have made Shania look so dumb. Like, and untrust, like, who do I want to work with somebody who would let their closest ally just stay on the block? Because if that's what you do to your closest ally, what you gonna do to me? No, thank you.
And then the crown goes to Shania. And it's like, having Renee in your game is just like not good for your game. Like, she's such a target. Like, she is the house target. You really should not do this. It's not going to be beneficial for your game. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, so you want her to not use the veto and then literally be left with one ally?
Look, this is the thing. The crown I get. I understand why they did what they did to try to make that move happen.
Of
That was
course.
that was the best for them. And
Mhm.
you make and try to make it to like trying to push, and Ty was making no sense because
Yeah.
he gave Shania the opportunity to win the veto.
Mhm.
You picked her. You picked her. You didn't have to pick her, but you did. You gave her the opportunity, and then she won it. So now you can't go in there and tell her what to do with her move and get mad because she's not doing what you want. Now the crown, they have no idea what it's not even about what Ty is saying. They're just trying to make sure that nobody from the crown go up. So they're just trying to protect their crown, and I
Yeah.
get that. That
Of
was
course. Yeah.
that made sense to me too. But in all honesty, it's like when it came down to it, it's still up to Shania. And I can understand why she felt so overwhelmed with all four of them being in there and like coming at her. And then they got Claudia in there and they're trying to
I
tell her.
wouldn't. I would not want to be in that position at all.
I would have been like, oh, y'all coming at me? I would have been felt overwhelmed too. I wouldn't have did it together, all four of them like that.
Yeah.
I would have just had like maybe Dan or Anika just go talk to her. Not
Yeah.
Kuzi because they don't trust Kuzi for real. But
I think that was like the biggest thing is like Kuzi was there and they are just anti Kuzi at this point, as much as they're trying to say that they're not anti Kuzi, like they are. And
right.
from their perspective, I understand it because they do see her as a very big social and manipulative threat and strategic threat. So I see it from their perspective. There definitely could have been. I think
A better way to do it.
the crown was very intentional in the way that they went about things in this week. Unfortunately, I just feel like nothing they did was correct, and we'll talk about the reaction after the POV because that's where I'm like, all y'all are no. So
We might have a disagreement on our hands
I
today.
think we might. I think we might.
Okay. Go
So
ahead.
So we go to the POV ceremony. Shania, to nobody's surprise whatsoever, uses the veto on her ally and friend Renee, to nobody's surprise at all. And Ty decides to put up Jonathan.
He is so full of it. He is so full of himself and so full of his threats are
just
so meaningless. Like nobody is scared of him. I would never be scared of him. This is the second or third threat you have made that you have not followed through on.
yeah.
Your threats are pointless, my guy. And I would not be scared of you. You can walk around huffing and puffing all you want, but you make a threat, we all know is you go back down from that threat because you don't mean it. You never mean it.
Yeah. So Hope and Jonathan, the brothers, are on the block. We go into the Thursday episode and it is tears everywhere. Everyone's crying except for the girly pops. Here's what I will say. I understand the emotion. I respect the emotion. I get that everybody in the house loves Jonathan. So I understood Hope's emotion, Daniel's, Anika's, Kuzi's, Ty's to an extent, Renee's to an extent. Like, I understand all of that. The biggest issue I had specifically was actually with Anika and her reaction when the crown goes up into the pink bedroom. And basically, without saying this, Anika's just like, fuck Renee, or not fuck Renee, fuck Shania. Like, how dare she make this move? She's going against the house. How dare she this, that, and the third? And I'm just like, you have not made a concerted effort to work with this person. And then when they have, but it hasn't, like the Girls Alliance thing has tried to happen, it's never going to happen. As much as I would love to see it happen, it's not going to happen. You've made little effort with this person, and then you're almost demanding that she do what you want her to do, which in reality is not best for her game. And you want her to sacrifice her friend, when in all reality, if Renee had gone this week, Shania would have been the next target for the crown. They would have skipped over Ty. They would have skipped over Renee because she can't win a comp to save her life. And they would have targeted Shania. And I'm not really upset at anyone other than Anika and the way that she reacted in that moment. That's just where my frustration lies. Okay. Is I felt like Anika's, the words that Anika used towards Shania, in my opinion, were too much.
Okay, then we're not going to disagree. Okay, because I agree with that. I think the emotion was warranted. I think the crown did not think Jonathan was going to be the one to be replaced.
I didn't think Jonathan would go up.
Nobody thought that Jonathan was going to be the replacement nom. And then Ty and his empty threats was like, it's going to be Claudia. But then he's so full of it that even when he said it, I was like, I don't believe you. Like, it's just like, even if I knew what was going to happen or saw what happened, I did not believe that for a second, even in the moment of him saying it. Like, you were not going to put up Claudia because, for number one, you're still a man, and as much as you don't respect her game, obviously, you want that warm in your bed. That's what you want. You want to be able to go and be kissing on somebody and have somebody to be laying up under you. You enjoy that. So you're not going to sacrifice her this early in the game.
No.
You're not going to do that because you know that is not only going to look horrible for you. You lost her jury vote, and you're going to lose 2 more jury votes if you make it that far. Yeah. So he was never going to do that. And so, but I did not think it was going to be Jonathan. But then I'm like, who else could it have been?
Anika was kind of who I thought it would be.
Yeah, I could have thought I saw Anika, but then it's
just because I feel like of the other people in the crown, I feel like Ty has the weakest relationship with Anika. And so I feel like that would have been a more justifiable situation.
But I also think that he's so close to Kuzi, and he knows Anika's close to Kuzi. That if he put up Anika, that would upset Kuzi. And he's trying his best.
And he didn't want to see Hope go.
No. Because if he put up
So
Anika, Hope was going to go.
100, probably unanimous.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it would have been 6-1 because Jonathan wouldn't have voted out Hope.
Hope. Yeah.
So it would have been 6-1. But yeah, I even Daniel, like Daniel was just like kind of tacking on to a few things that Anika said. That whole moment in the bedroom, I didn't love. And then couple that with the girly pops are outside and Santina comes in from the hot tub area and starts like antagonizing Shania and Renee.
Well, I don't think it started out as antagonizing because she came out and she said, "Congratulations, girls." A girl talking to Renee.
Yeah.
And Renee turned around and was like, "You don't have to be sarcastic." And she was like, "I was being genuine. Honestly, I was being sincere about that." So I don't think it started out as her coming in to be antagonistic and just attack them. I think she came in and actually was like, "Congratulations, girl." And then Renee, "You don't have to be sarcastic." And so then Santina was like, "Well, if you don't really want me to congratulate you, then fine. I won't congratulate you. But I was just really trying to be genuine, but you don't want me to be." So
yeah.
I think that was that.
I don't think either of them had the best tone in their delivery of what they were trying to say. I do think Santina probably was trying to be sincere. She has such a dry delivery with everything that she says that I think it can be so.
But I think in this, but see, okay, so let me go back to the bedroom situation.
Sure, yeah.
And okay, Hope being upset and sobbing, I get. I understand. Jonathan is his number one. He never wanted Jonathan to be on the block next to him. He put himself in that position and he knew he messed up. That was a moment of, I screwed this up. Me trying to help and trying to be, protect the crown. I screwed it up. And now my boy is on the line. And now I have to figure out a way to stay over him when I want him to be here too. And I didn't like what Anika said about Shania. I can understand her feeling like that if she would have just not used it, although you didn't do anything to really make a connection with her so she would feel like she has more options. She didn't feel like she had more options in this game. Shania did not feel like she had more options in this game. So she did what was best for her game, which I said I respect. And I appreciate it. Now, Anika, I felt was so she's a person for me who I feel like thrives off of other people's energy. Like she matches people's energy. She's a match your energy type of person. And so she was matching the energy of Hope, who was sobbing, who was upset and mad, and she was mad at the situation. I think she was definitely more mad at the situation than she was at Shania, but in the moment, Shania was the situation. And I don't disagree. She went too far. Like she didn't have to be like F Shania, and she ruined her game going against the house. But baby, the house is against her. The house was against her best interest, and so I just feel like she didn't. She went too far. Dan, I don't think anything Dan said was out of the way, but I think he was trying to really get them to just like focus on the task at hand, not be too mad about what's done is done in that situation. There's no going back. Ty's not gonna be like, "Oh, I made a mistake. I changed my mind." No, what's done is done.
You can't do that in Big Brother. Yeah,
you can't do it. What's done is done. Those are the two people who, and now you have to figure out what to do. I just feel like Anika definitely took it too far. I agree 100% with that. She took it too far. But the good thing about that is she said that, but she didn't say that to like Shania. Nobody who heard her say it will run back and tell Shania what she said. So they'll be able to maybe possibly mend some things in the next week or whatever. But I don't know. I just feel like she needed to chill out a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like all their emotions were valid. Everybody felt Jonathan is the heart and soul of the house. There's no doubt about it. He is the heart of the house.
Yeah.
And when the heart is up and possibly can go,
Yeah.
that takes them, that's the most. But what I didn't like
Mm-hmm.
in all of this situation,
Mm-hmm.
little Miss Claudia and her entitlement and her offense, her selective outrage about how, oh my God, nobody cried for me when I went on the block. Baby, because nobody cared and nobody knew you wasn't going nowhere. Everybody knew you were the absolute 100% pawn when you went on the block. There was no doubt in
Yeah.
anybody's mind that you
Yeah.
were the pawn. This is not the same situation here
Yeah.
because either one of these two men could go home and they
Yeah.
both know it.
Yeah. I think the difficulty with me with Claudia in this episode is I completely agree with you about like her
Brad,
reaction to that. But then also I couple that with she goes to talk to Ty and she's like trying to express her opinions to Ty and Ty is interrupting every single word that she says and I'm just like fuck off Ty.
yeah,
Like no.
I that just in that moment, I was like, "Girl, you are a brat. Stop it." But then when they went and talked to Ty, and that this is why this week was so full of emotions and backs and forths and ups and downs. Because in that next moment, I was like, "Girl, tell this man where he can go and how fast he can get there," and like, ugh. Because that would have pissed me the hell off when I'm talking to you and you're constantly before we do it, before we talk, before who this is this an age thing? Is this a cultural thing? Is this a I don't know what it is because I don't want to call her weak. I done already told her to stand up several times, get off her knees for this man, stand up because she is weak in the knees and it's. But like in that moment right there, I would have lost all sense of respect for you. I
I
would have
agree.
lost all sense of attractiveness for you. I would have lost all sense of, oh, he's so cute. I was just really for you. When you sit there in my face and I'm sitting here trying to tell you how I'm feeling, and you're constantly like, before this conversation, don't you, how dare you sit here and try to defend Shania? What? You mad because I'm trying to defend my bestie in this house?
Mm-hmm.
What? That you know is the closest person besides you in this house to me? You mad because I'm trying to defend her and her right to make her own decisions? What? You can go to hell 4 times. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
How about that? You can go to grass, touch some grass, eat some grass, lick
Yeah.
some grass. Baby, you could just.
And that leads to Claudia finally, I think for real this time,
We'll see. I am not convinced.
ending the blandmance
I
between
am
her
not
and
convinced.
Ty.
I
No,
am
me
not
either,
convinced.
but me either.
I, I am not convinced because this is the thing. I saw people talking about the breakup before I saw the breakup.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like, oh girl, when I saw people talking about it, I'm like, oh girl, she gonna break up with him. Good for you. She finally stood up. She finally got her knees strong and said, screw this man. Then I watched it and I
Yeah.
was like, this girl ain't finna break up with
I'm
him.
hopeful, but I doubt it.
Because all it's gonna
So.
take is for him to say some nice few words, and she gonna be right back under him, kissing him all over.
Mm-hmm.
All it takes is him, and he ain't stupid. He's stupid, but he ain't stupid.
Yep.
He dumb, but he ain't stupid. That I'll say that he's dumb, but he ain't stupid, and
Yeah.
he know when his back is against the wall. All he got to do is say some nice flowery words, and like, I know I messed up with you, and I know that I didn't respect you like I should. I am so sorry, baby. Please. And she gonna fall right back for it. Because the way she even left the room, like, can we hug it out? Okay. Like she was waiting for him to apologize and say something. She was giving that whole pause, like, I mean, I guess that's it. I'm gonna go now. I'm almost at the door. Like, girl, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe she's done. I don't believe
Anyway, I don't want to talk about her anymore. I want to talk about Daniel. He's getting up early in the Big Brother house. He is going to that library, and he is working on trying to find something in that library because he knows that room is always filled with all the twists. And so he is trying to find something in the library. I am going to bring this up again later when we talk about the Fatal Feast, because I truly think the library twist is coming into play with the Fatal Feast. That's just what I'm going to say now. I'll talk about it more later. But we then see a meeting of the women to discuss what they want to do this week. And everyone is kind of like, Shanae's like, well, I'm voting for Hope. Because Jonathan has been more solid on securing a target, and it's a target that I also have. And so for me, I feel a lot more confident in Jonathan targeting Ty than Hope targeting Ty. And honestly, valid and fair. And I see exactly where Shanae's game mind is.
Mm-hmm.
She really needs to be the one targeted out of the three of them, because she is kind of the, and Renee too, to an extent. Renee does have, she's a super fan. She has a strategic brain. Like, I think
she can't win nothing.
She just can't win. And I think Shania really is like that big threat over on that side.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I could see Shania winning out. I could. I don't know if I won't necessarily want to see it. I don't dislike Shania. Let me make that very clear. I don't dislike Shania. I don't dislike anyone left in the house really, except for Ty.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. But yeah, so the ladies are split. And it seems like everybody was split. And what's interesting is we get the vibe, at least I did. I don't know if you will agree with this, Lana. I got the vibe going into the vote that Hope was getting evicted.
I did too, until I saw, I guess it was Digital Daily.
The Digital Daily.
Santina and Kuzi talking.
Yeah.
And
so
their conversation was very much like, who do we feel like is going to be best for moving forward to protect us and figure, and as much as I love, and Kuzi had the same kind of conversation with Anika earlier and was like, do we make our bet on someone who we haven't seen perform?
Yeah.
Or do we put our bet on somebody who we have seen perform and perform well and can win and will not protect and will protect us and will not look our direction? And even though loyalty was never Jonathan's issue, nobody felt like Jonathan was not loyal or wasn't going to be loyal. He would have been loyal to the crown to the end. I believe that with my heart and soul. But he just never had an opportunity to prove that he can win competitions when they needed to be won.
Because he didn't play a veto, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So,
and the HOH competitions that he was in, he didn't do that well in any of them. So I understood the conversations that and the points that Kuz was bringing up, and why they went, how they were going to go. But up until out of that Circle K room, I felt like Hope was going to go.
It was the day before the eviction.
Right.
Wednesday was when kind of everything shifted.
Mm-hmm.
But we go to the eviction ceremony. Also, Arissa Cox, blue pantsuit. Come on, Queen.
See, she slays.
That color looks so good on her.
I felt like these last 2 weeks, that red and then this blue.
Oh, I want to
so
see her. I want to see her, and I know it's not the season for this, but I want to see her in like a yellow, like floral summery dress situation. I just feel like she'd look great.
I mean, I think she'll look great in yellow. I was gonna say yellow too. That was the color that I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I know she'll look so good in yellow, but like even if we don't do like the summery dress, but like a bold, like something like how her cape look was last week. But something like that. Even if we go do like a yellow blocking with like yellow color block, like yellow, purple, black, like
well, they are complements, so absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying, like a yellow, purple block kind of dress, or a maxi shift dress.
Anyway.
But okay, we cannot stay on
we get the speech.
She's amazing, by the way.
We love Arissa here.
Arissa Cox. Can I just put that out there?
We love Arissa.
If you ever come across this, I love you, adore you. You are like my favorite host on television right now. Sorry to everybody else, but Arissa Cox is my favorite reality TV show host. Period. I can't. I love her.
Yeah. So, we got the speeches. They're both pretty much the same speech, but in different ways. So
okay, wait, no.
Please speak on it.
I can't, because Hope's speech was Hope-like. It was very Hope-like. I wasn't mad at either of these speeches. It was just very Hope-like. But Jonathan's speech touched my soul. Jonathan is just such a good man. I absolutely, like, he is one white man on these games that I would stand. And you know I don't stand a lot of white men in these games.
No.
Because they give me very, very good reasons not to.
Yep.
But he has shown me that there is hope for the white men out there.
Not hope.
Good. He's shown me hope. And he's such a good man. And he's so sweet, so kind. If this is just an act, I don't want to know the real Jonathan. I just want to but I don't believe it is.
I think we all know who Canada's favorite house guest is. And let's just all be honest here. I'm probably going to vote for Jonathan. Honestly.
I mean, if
I love Dan. I love Kuzi. I'm loving.
I want Queen Kuzi to win the game. She don't have to win.
Exactly.
Canada's favorite. I just want her to win the game. And Dan, I love Dan, but I don't think he's giving what Canada wants.
I don't think he's getting the edit towards that. No, so he's getting the strategic edit, which I'm fine with because that's who he is. So
and he's giving and he's getting a little, sassy.
He's giving. No, he is giving entertainment, and I'm happy to see. Yeah,
his DRs are giving. I will say
him in the fucking when he hosted the Brita competition in that raindrop. I just everything I just love. But
also. Our boy is getting love from some of the great alumni. Summer Sales.
Yes. Good.
Dirty bonnet, hair, because I love me a good bonnet.
Oh, of course.
Right there. And I was gonna put it on in honor of Dan. Maybe I'll put it on a little later, but
next week.
Before the show is over, I'll put it on for Dan.
Sure, okay. Well, you might want to go do it now then, because we're almost done. Work.
Dan and the bonnet look, because it's about a bonnet life. Here. And I love that. I love because I think he's getting really good. He gives great DRs. He's giving some of his moves, some of his stuff that people might not like. That's why I don't think he's going to get the Canada's favor, because some of his moves were questionable. But I still stand.
If it gets him to the end of the game and wins, I'm fine with it.
With it. But yeah.
The vote comes down. Vote comes down. It's 4-3. And Jonathan is sent to the jury. And I'm going to be honest, I'm sad.
I'm very sad. I'm very sad. I
I
hated
didn't
it.
want Hope to go either.
I
That's the
didn't
thing.
either.
Is
Like,
I'm fine with Jonathan leaving because I'm so intrigued every week at what Hope is gonna do. Like, I'm so intrigued by Hope's gameplay and what he's doing and just all of it. So
agreed. Agreed.
I'm sad to see Jonathan go. I'm happy that he aligned with the people that we like. Honestly, like that's kind of part of it. And then they all took the crown
The
off.
crowd. I
Lana,
literally, I oh, I was like,
Lana.
oh.
Oh,
When each one of them was like, I was
I
like,
can't. I can't.
I
Uh,
couldn't. I was like, first of all, that is the best alliance name ever, and to have a thing to go with it. And so when one of them fall,
no. But
but
yeah,
okay. Now I don't talk about this often, but we can talk about this because Jonathan's exit interview.
yeah.
I even Arissa was crying
Right.
from the goodbye messages that this man,
Right.
which says so much about him as a man and
Yeah.
his impact that he had in that house, that
Yeah.
everybody, literally everybody, had nothing but good things to say about him.
Has there been a bad man on the show from Newfoundland? I can't think of one.
I can't go back in history. I mean, the last one was from Kiefer was last, right? Is Kiefer from Newfoundland?
No.
Oh, who is
No.
from? Who else
The
is from
last
Newfoundland?
the last one I can remember was from BBCAN 6.
Oh,
The
see, I
tall
don't.
guy, I don't remember. I
I
don't think
don't.
we've had a Newfie on in a few seasons, actually, now that I think about it. But
Oh, well, see, I don't know. But
anyway,
Jonathan is a gem among men, and
yeah,
his wife and his son
yeah,
should be very proud of him and should
yeah,
just know that he is walking out of this house with so much love
yeah,
from not just the people in the house, but Canada all over. They just
yeah,
love him.
yeah.
They just love him. And I love, like, those goodbye messages made me like, oh, and then I think Hope's is the one that got me.
Oh yeah,
Hope, I think I was like trying to remain strong with everybody. I'm like, oh, Tim's
yeah.
koozie saluting and Dan's. I was like, Santina's was. I was like,
Oh my
everybody's.
god.
I was like, y'all trying to get me, but I'm gonna be a G. I'm gonna be strong. And then
Yeah.
Hope just,
No.
just broke me right on down when he said, "I came to Big Brother." And now I'm leaving with the big brother. I was just like, I couldn't. It was so sweet. It was so sweet. Jonathan, you are loved. If you watch this, you are loved.
Truly.
We stand you here. I laminated my stand card for you. It will never go
Absolutely.
anywhere. Absolutely laminated.
I want to get him on for either 25 or BBCAN 12. I think I would love to, because he's a super fan too. That's what upset me. Is just like he's a super fan and he loves this game and he studied the game, and I wish he had a little bit more time to play. But I think what he did was very good. I think if there's a second chance this season at any point in the horizon, I think he's a lock, honestly. I think, but charisma alone, I think he's a lock. So
I would love for Jonathan to get another chance at this.
I agree.
So, and the fact, and then I even watched some interviews that he did after.
I watched his TikTok interview.
I was just like, and his ET interview,
and he's just so lovely.
So lovely. This man was like, the fact that the crown was so diverse was the best part about the crown for me. That's what I love the most. And I was like, this man, I love him. I can't. He's a great example for his son. His son should be so happy he got the best dad ever.
Truly one of the best people I think we've seen play Big Brother Canada.
Yeah.
I feel very confident in saying that.
Very confident in saying that. Absolutely.
So we actually get to see the whole HOH comp, Lana. BBCAN is listening, I think. Honestly, I think they're listening. I mean, it was a knockout comp, so sure.
Yeah. But we saw it.
So this is I think it was called the Circle K Trivia Showdown. I think something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the Circle K room, and things have been changing in the Circle K room every day. And so it's trivia based on that. So we have a random draw to start. Anika gets knocked out by Claudia in the first round. Santina then gets knocked out by Hope in the second round. Renee gets knocked out by Claudia in the third round. Hope knocks himself out of the comp by getting the question wrong in round 4, meaning that Kuzi moves on. Shania knocks herself out of the comp by getting round 5 wrong, so Claudia moves on. Daniel knocks himself out of the comp by getting round 6 wrong. So the final round ends up being Kuzi versus Claudia, one side of the house against the other side of the house. And Queen Kuzi comes through with her second HOH win. And knowing what we know now, we will talk a little bit about the digital dailies, but knowing what we know now, I love that Ty was celebrating just as much. I'm just like, like truly, truly fun. But yes, so Kuzi wins the HOH. But Lana, this week is different. And Arissa let us know that on Tuesday's episode, the house guests will sit down for a fatal feast where one house guest will not make it out. I love the name of this. Fatal Feast. I'm sorry. Like, love. We don't know anything else other than that. We will have a midweek episode next week because we are going to do an episode of The Cup devoted specifically to Tuesday's episode because we are going to be losing someone. So y'all will be getting 2 episodes next week. You're welcome. But you're welcome, Canada and the world.
You're welcome. Like they asked us for this, but
you're welcome. You're welcome. Like we were going to do 2 episodes a week at the start of the season and then decided not to. But we ain't got time for that. 1 week out of the season, sure, I'll do that. I don't have anything going on.
Yeah.
We'll whatever.
Work it out. Look, it's an important event. We're going to talk about it.
Exactly. So, I've alluded to it a couple times. I honestly think because we saw this, we got this segment with Daniel in this episode in the library for no apparent reason. I honestly think that we're going to see the library twist that we were teased at the start of the season. I think we're going to see that in play at some point during this week, whether it's before the Fatal Feast or after the Fatal Feast, not sure. But I also didn't think we were going to get a digital daily, and we did get a digital daily for Thursday. So we have a little bit of information on that, but I want to hear your speculation on what you think the Fatal Feast is going to involve.
I don't know. I was wondering if it had something to do with these Wendy's points that they were talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the library twist. It has something to do with that. We haven't seen anybody else besides Daniel looking for any kind of clues in the library. So I think
a few people have on digital dailies, but I can't remember anyone specific.
Oh, okay, so I don't know, but maybe I don't know. I think me trying to speculate at this point, I just don't know.
Yeah, I think I've seen some people online talk about maybe it being something like a safety chain kind of situation, like we saw on BB 24, right? We saw it on 24, or was it BBCAN 10?
10. It was 10. BBCAN 10. Because that's we saw Summer and they do the safety thing.
Yeah, I do remember
because
that now.
Tanisha said,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There it is. I was like, it was one of the seasons last year. They blend together. If I'm being honest, they blend together. So, and I didn't watch 24 that carefully, if I'm being honest. Yeah, so I think it could be something like a safety chain sort of situation. When I think Fatal Feast, I think like they could play it off where it's something like you're protecting someone from poison. And so like maybe the last person is a person that's poisoned. I also think with how, so realistically, we have 5 weeks left in the game, if I recall correctly. It's usually a 10-week game in Canada. I think it's like a 60-ish day season. I think, I'm going to throw this out there as a wild speculation. I think it could be a fake eviction.
I mean, it wouldn't be beyond Canada to do fake evictions. They did it.
Yeah.
They did it a couple seasons ago. So
Yeah. I think maybe a fake eviction Tuesday's episode, a fake eviction Thursday episode with a battle back, maybe. I think that's going to be my speculation. I think that's what we're going to get. We're going to get someone leaving Tuesday, another round of HOH, or maybe, I'm going to say another round of HOH. Someone leaves Thursday, fake evictions, battle back. That's what I'm going to predict for next week.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, I can see, I don't know about another round HOH, but I can see everything else. But I think fake eviction, because it's really not, Kuzi's choice. Maybe it might not even be her,
or maybe it is. Who knows?
Or maybe it is. I don't know. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna talk about it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my speculation is fake eviction, battle back. Boom. I'm gonna lock that in. So
okay.
But we will be back. I think.
Are we gonna talk about the dailies this week or?
Oh yes, we are. So if you don't want any spoilers, it's a minor spoiler. We got basically nothing from the digital daily that we got on Friday, I think it was. But we are gonna do a very quick digital daily spoiler. So if you do not want to hear that, thank you so much, and we'll be back with 2 episodes next week. Make sure to check out Twitter as well as the community tab on our YouTube page, so you can check out whenever we decide we're gonna upload those other videos. So,
and my merch link.
And the merch. Get some merch if you want merch. So, okay. So, pretty much the digital daily we got, it was a shorter one. We pretty much know who Kuzi is planning to nominate. That's about all we know. We got conversations with Daniel and with Anika, with Ty. I think Hope was in there as well. The plan as of right now, from what we understand, is that Kuzi will be nominating Ty and Santina.
Crickets, because I don't like that.
I like half of that. Actually, you know what? No, I don't, because Ty isn't coming after Kuzi.
No.
So.
No, I feel like she should go for the girls who said her name.
Yeah, I do kind of agree with that. But, I mean, this twist, genuinely, presumably, anyone but Kuzi could be going home on Tuesday.
Right. So I'm okay with that.
Hell, Kuzi could even go home. I'm not saying that I want that to happen, but I feel like it could be in the realm of possibilities. So, who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got from the digital daily.
That's it.
Nothing else super important. So, with all that being said, we'll be back. It will probably be Thursday, Saturday uploads next week. Emphasis on a probably. We're still trying to schedule when we're exactly going to be doing this Tuesday episode, Fatal Feast recap. So that'll be happening at some point. So probably Thursday, Saturday, with consistent uploads on Saturdays, presumably for the rest of the season is kind of what we're looking at. But yeah, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, click the bell. If you care about only Big Brother Canada, you can get a notification for only Big Brother Canada. If you want to check out all of our other content, it's great. We have a lot of people and a lot of different opinions on a bunch of different shows. And we're adding shows every week. And we're doing some throwbacks to old shows too. Who knows? Maybe we'll cover, I don't know, Have you seen that Race to Alaska show? I'm intrigued.
I started to look at it, but then I didn't.
I'm intrigued. So maybe we'll cover that. I'm intrigued. But
if you want to.
Yeah. With that being said, thank you so much for joining us. All of your support is incredibly appreciated. And yeah, cheers, Lana.
Cheers.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Goodbye. So long, farewell. Goodbye.
Someone's always watching.
Someone is always watching.